Hello, Walking Dead fans. This is Solid Dave Snake, bringing you my first review on the Walking Dead TV Series 6 action figures by Mcfarlane Toys. And what better action figure out of this series to start it all off with than our one and only lead hero character from the TV show, Rick Grimes. And this is the fourth time that we have gotten an action figure for Rick Grimes off the TV series. And in my book, I would definitely say that this is the best out of the four. We are getting a fifth Rick Grimes in the next flashback series coming out in a couple months. But as of now, I would say this holds my spot for the number one Rick Grimes action figure. But just because he's my favorite doesn't mean I have no gripes about him. I only have a couple minor complaints. But overall, this is a great action figure and a must-have for Walking Dead fans. And holds probably the closest likeness to Andrew Lincoln thus far in the action figure form. But just to jump right into this action figure and start going over it for you guys, we will start off with the accessories. And he comes with a lot of nice accessories from what he was using in Season 3. Especially that opening episode, Seed. If you remember, whenever they were storming the prison, they were having to close off areas of the fence. And Rick and Daryl were using these carabiners with this chain on it to latch up certain parts of the gate. And I thought it was great that he came with this accessory. That's really going to be nice for certain dioramas and such. And one of the carabiners, this one up top is red, and the bottom one is yellow. And yes, that actually is a little chain, little metal link chain connecting the two. So that is one excellent accessory he comes with. One of the other accessories you see him holding in his hand right now is that same episode he used a pistol with a flashlight suppressor, which I thought was really different and very unique. Rick having this and Carl having that baseball bat silencer. So I think it's great they included this accessory. And you can tell it's just a little Glock handgun with a flashlight at the end of it. Don't know exactly how you would make that work in real life, but hey, Rick Grimes figured it out. And he comes with that same machete that he has been using throughout the show, especially in Season 3, in that same initial episode. Whenever they stormed the prison, he was using this machete. And this is a new accessory as well, with a sharper blade end. They gave it a nice little silver paint brushing there to make it look sharp, and then it looks serrated on this side. And the handle looks a lot like the one he was using. After this fifth season of the show, I can see a lot of people customizing this machete and painting their handles red, and I may get another Rick and do the same thing. Make him have a couple different looks. And of course he comes with his Colt Python revolver that stores in this great holster. Definitely the best holster that we have gotten thus far for Rick Grimes. It has different color shading on it between brown and black. And looks stitched on the back. It just looks great. Little strap that will hold that upper part of the revolver in. And the revolver's pretty much the same one that we got with the last Rick. Just a little bit of a cleaner paint job with the silver and the handle. Just really looks good. Looks nice and clean. Detail really comes through on this revolver. And finally, we get an alternate hand. And this is the one that comes not attached in the package. It is his bandaged hand from the second half of Season 4. So this Rick, basically, his overall look covers all of Season 3 and all of Season 4, basically. which is really nice. And this hand doesn't actually have the extra wrist articulation that the other hands do. It just has a swivel right here. So you cannot get any more movement right here at the wrist. Doesn't have that ball joint. And one funny thing is that this Rick Grimes that I opened up, I didn't even notice it whenever I was first opening it up. But he came with 2 left hands. I thought that was really weird. So it was a little production screw up, and kind of wish I'd have noticed that and wouldn't have taken it out of package, because some of those weird screw ups are worth a little more money. Some of those factory mess ups. But they have to be factory sealed in the actual card to really be worth anything, or else who's to just say that I didn't just open up another figure and swap it out. But that was funny, and I thought I'd show you guys. But his other wrist that he was supposed to have does have the same articulation as this, his other hand. Right hand that he's supposed to come with. If I bring that package forward of this one, you can see his actual right hand does have that ball joint and hinge in there. So, funny little mistake by Mcfarlane. But those hands are real easy to change out. You just pull it straight out like that. And I guess it is a little tough to initially pull out, but a little force, not a problem. A little easier to push back in. And to take a look at the overall detail of this Rick Grimes, the sculpt is definitely better than those initial Ricks. Once I get a good focus in here on them. There we go. You can see that sculpt comes through. And I picked one of the better paint jobs. But they were definitely varying between Ricks. Some of the beards were really not done right. This one is on nice and straight. I have a little black smudge on the tip of his nose, though. It's not too bad, but it is noticeable. But overall, I think the sculpt really turned out well. Mcfarlane's just been known to have some spotty paint apps in the last couple series. Not very consistent. In the last series, they actually redid the Maggie paint job in their second shipment of them. Second or third. And one nice thing I thought that they had done with this paint job was add a stubble look down on his neck. It's not sculpted in there, they just painted it on, but kind of makes that bearded, unshaved look going down his neck look a little more natural. So I did like that. But besides his face, his body has great detail and paint. His shirt has a nice weathered look to it. On front and back. Nice sculpts on the sleeves being rolled up. Nice stitching work all through here. Nice little details throughout. I always love how Mcfarlane does a good job of making the folds in the shirts where they're tucked into the pants. They really do a great job with that. And the sculpt on the actual waist belt, which he has all kinds of stuff, all kinds of pouches along here. There's nice detail in it. Belt has sculpting all the way through it. Nice silver buckles. On his left hand, he has that ring still, his wedding ring still on his finger. His watch right here. And of course those same kind of blue jeans he's always wore, which have a great sculpt to them. They look folded, naturally folded. And his cowboy boots down below. So overall, besides some spotty paint apps on the face, I'd have to say this is the superior sculpt for Rick Grimes in action figure form. And articulation-wise, he outdoes all the previous ones as well. He's got great articulation. He's got that ball-jointed head, which will rotate all the way around. And look that far down and that far up. You don't get that much movement with the longer hair in the back, forward and back. And then, of course, he's got a ball joint and hinge at the shoulders, which goes that far up and will rotate all the way around. And same thing here at the elbows, which will go that far up and back straight and rotate as well. And for this hand, like I said, he only has that swivel there. But this hand, he does have the cut right by the watch, and he has the ball joint and hinge right at the hand, which will get a lot of movement. It'll go that far up and that far in, and of course rotate all the way around. And he has a cut at the waist, and the updated leg articulation that Daryl has. You can get your TV series Rick to do a full split. And he will kick that far up and that far back. So you can make your Rick look like a ballerina. And at the knees, he's got a ball joint and hinge, which will go that far back and back straight and rotate all the way around. And he has the ball joint and hinge down here at the ankles as well, but it's a little limited with the way the cuffs of his pants are, and you can't really get that much movement at all out of it. Although you can get it to swivel a little more than you can get some forward and back movement. So overall, I think this Rick Grimes is excellent, and I would give him a high recommendation to pick up if you collect these Walking Dead action figures. He's really a must-have. So go out and snag him up while you can, guys. He's only available at GameStop right now, and then in mid-December he should be available everywhere. So happy hunting.